So the next speaker is Frédéric Jarlier from the Institut Curie, who will describe Quartic, a parallel tool for HTS data processing.
Hi everyone, and thank you for inviting me at the Jobim Edition 21. My name is Frédéric and I am a software engineer working at the bioinformatics platform of the Institut Curie. I am presenting you a software we are developing to accelerate the short reads alignment and sorting on general.
Sorry, there was a mishap. I'll start over again. I'm really sorry about this. Tac, tac. Partage audio. Si, c'était bon.
Hi everyone, and thank you for inviting me at the Jobim Edition 21. Engineer working at the bioinformatics platform of the Institut Curie. I am presenting you a software we are developing to accelerate the short reads alignment and sorting on general purpose CPU and in the context of high performance computing architecture. First, I will explain the general context of this development. I will briefly introduce parallelization with message passing interface. And then we will see some details of parallelization for the alignment, the sorting and the merging. At the end we will see also some perspectives. As you already know, personalized medicine is now a reality. But tailoring a treatment for individual is a multifactorial problem involving genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics data, and so on. To decipher the complexity of multiomics, we generally use sequencing instruments at various scales. At individual or clinical scale for patient screening, and also at the population scale. But those instruments generate a tremendous volume of data. For instance, clinicians have to deal with terabytes of genomics data for a single patient. For daily care, it means those data has to be analyzed and processed in short time, between 1 or 2 days. At population scale, a sequencer can produce 700 genomes in one single run. So the computing pressure is very high. At computing level, the Moore laws on CPU speed seems to halt. Processor frequency have reached a plateau, and chip technology will evolve toward more density, meaning adding more cores on the same socket or board. In conclusion, the data volume inflates, and meanwhile we have more cores or CPU. So parallelization is no more an option if we want our software analysis to be efficient and scalable. Not to mention also accelerating cards like GPU or FPGA, which are common resources now in exascale computers. What is message passing interface? MPI is a standard for academic and industrial purpose, and it has been around for 20 years. It is used in various scientific domains like chemistry, climate, physics, mathematics. It could be open source or vendor edition. MPI is responsible for the synchronization of parallel tasks and hardware accelerators. We have many ways to compress the time to delivery of our software. We can scale up with multi-threads by dividing our task inside a computing unit, but scaling up is bounded to server resources in terms of memory and CPU. What we need is to scale out. It means adding more computing resources in order to remove memory or CPU walls. We propose here Quartic, which is an incremental research for short reads analysis. The software can be used in replacement of the standard BWMM or SAM tools when you need speed up, and it is intended to execute on high-performance computing architecture. So let's see how we do that for the alignment part. After sequencing a genome, we end up with billions of DNA small fragments that we need to gather in order to reconstruct the individual genome. Searching and indexing text in a document is a common task. Hashing and also deep neural network are among the fastest, but requires a lot of memory. Suffix array and Bowers-Wheeler transform are popular techniques. Those two techniques are slower than hashing, but need much less memory. This is why they have been adopted when dealing with large genomics data, like human genome. Tools like BWA or Bowtie are generally multi-threaded. And hopefully, the serial alignment could be done in a divide and conquer manner. But the difficult part of the alignment parallelization is to stay reproducible with a serial algorithm. So attention must be paid in the way you distribute your data to MPI worker. As mentioned earlier, Quartic needs a HPC setup. The setup is composed of a parallel file system, several computing nodes, and a low latency interconnect. The low latency interconnect, here the Intel OPA, is a very important part. It is the backbone of the system. At the software level, a message passing interface or MPI implementation is also needed. MPI is the orchestrator of the program and the glue between the different components of the setup. In this setup, we use OpenMPI. We reduce I/O latency thanks to a parallel file system, BGFS here. And we use collective reads and writes with MPI. Between I/O parts, MPI is responsible for the management of parallel threads and also the management of the shared memory inside the computing node. We tested Quartic against a very large whole genome shotgun sample of 300 coverage with short reads of 200 nucleotides and paired. In the first chart, you can see the linear scalability when we increase the sample size. In the second chart, we test the scaling out, increasing the number of resources. You notice there is virtually no limit in the speedup. Now let's move to the sorting part of the pipeline. The data produced by MPI BWA is difficult to exploit directly. The reads position appear in a random manner. Thus, sorting is an important step in the pipeline because it accelerates downstream analysis like variant discovering, SNP, and so on. Traditional tools like SAMtools, SAMBomba propose the classic merge sort algorithm. But serial algorithms like quicksort, teamsort are hard to parallelize. And even when succeeding, serial algorithms suffer from predictability and highly depend on the randomness of the input. It means it is very hard to predict resources like memory or running time, and it is a major drawback for production purpose. This is why we propose an alternative approach. The point here is to use parallel algorithm. This way, the number of operations is known in advance. Ken Batcher in the 70s proposed a method called the Bitonic sort that consists in a fixed network of compare and swap operations. The important fact is the sorting does not depend on the input data. Here you can see more clearly how it is implemented in our algorithm. We start with a merge sort for each block performed by each processor independently, and we use compare split operator over the Bitonic sorting network, like previously explained. But sorting is not the most consuming part of the pipeline. After sorting the coordinates, each individual reads or fragment DNA has to be exchanged between all the MPI workers. When performed naively, the merge is equivalent to an all-to-all operation and has a time complexity of n squared that is not acceptable. To accelerate the merge, we have implemented the Brook algorithm. The Brook has logarithm complexity. It needs a memory permutation at the beginning and at the end of the algorithm, and only need 3 steps of communication to exchange all the data between all the rank, the MPI rank. Here, I and J indices are the sending and receiving rank. Here is the complete algorithm overview we use with the different phases involved. We start with a parallel Bitonic sorting, followed by 2 Brooks merge. The columns represent the data we are moving. For the result, in the left chart, you can see the scalability of the method. We can notice that the sorting is now I/O bound. In the right chart, we see the linear scaling out and the efficiency of the algorithm in the first bars. The first graph is done with 128 CPU and 4 nodes, and in the Intel Skylake architecture. The code is freely available on a GitHub repository with documentation and some examples for you to test. Command line are very simple. The sorting algorithm is optimized for a power of 2 number of CPU, and MPI sort is memory bound, so you have to determine the memory in advance per CPU, and it can be done automatically according to the file size you have to sort, like explained in the documentation. Now let's see some perspective. For perspective, we are working on the next version of MPI BWA, the cluster edition of BWA-MEM2. BWA-MEM2 is optimized for vectorization like AVX2, AVX512, and is between 2 and 3 times faster than its previous release. We have also removed some overheads of the first version of MPI BWA, and we are also working on the next step of the pipeline, the marking of duplicate. I would like to thank the organizers of the JOBIM 21 edition. I also thank all the students who contribute to the development of the tools, and also internal members of the institute, like guys working at the IT department. And finally, a special thanks to Intel developers and architects who follow up with me during all those years of developments. My time is up, so if you have questions, I will be glad to answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frederic, for your interesting presentation.
You're welcome.
I don't see any questions in the panel, so I'll start. I'm really not an expert at this topic, but I was curious. I didn't really get it, whether you build an index for the entire reference or you build an index for chunks of the reference.
Yes, I am. I have two versions in the index. For the first version of MPI-BWA, I used to build rebuild an index, but now we are using the reference and the index reference built by BWA.
Okay, so you use the complete index of the reference for all the parts of the reads, of the set of reads.
Each worker, when we split the work, each worker use the reference that is put in the memory shared memory, in fact. So every worker in the same node use the same reference.
Okay.
With the new version of BWA, it's about the total reference for the human genome is about 10 gigabytes, so it's nothing.
Okay. So we have a question from Rafael Lanos. He was wondering, how did you evaluate the performance of MPI-BWA compared to GPU computation?
Yes. The fact is we want to stay reproducible with BWA. So we don't want to build another mapper. So we didn't test the GPU mapper. We didn't test because the point is we want to stay reproducible. Okay, so as the core program of BWA runs on general CPU, so we started to develop with the same technology and with the same CPU level. Okay, but I guess some part could be done on offloading on GPU, but maybe for the future.
Okay. Christoph Hitt also has a question. He thanks you for your talk, and he is wondering whether your tool works with BWA aligner, ALN, standard for ancient DNA.
No, no. In fact, the only parameter we have parallelized is the MEM, maximum exact matching option. Yes, it doesn't work for ALN or other option. Sorry.
Okay. This is what I was wondering also, whether you could imagine your architecture to be generic to different mappers.
Yes.
And tools.
Yes, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do. If you want to do that for individual mapper, there is lots of individual mapper. If we start for each mapper, this kind of development, it will be very time consuming. And yes, we don't have the time that for each mapper.
I understand. Thank you. So we don't have any more questions. So let's stop here and thank Frederic once again. And we'll go to the next speaker, the last speaker of this session, last but not the least. So it's Roland Faure. He comes from University Libre de Bruxelles, and he will introduce graph unzip.